Thank you for joining us for the July full moon meditation. Those who have the flexibility with their life and schedule, their responsibilities and time. It is a joy to meditate with you for the full moon of July, which is right on the Cancer Leo cusp. Its energy still fundamentally in Cancer. And so that's what we're going to focus upon is Cancerian energy this evening. The full moon also finds its heyday in a time of trouble within many parts of the world and an insistence by those of good heart and good mind to focus on the good, to bring the energy and the power of meditation, of right relations, of an open heart, of kindness and courtesy to everyone else on the planet, and thus remind our fellow brothers and sisters that only together can we change a troubled world into a peaceful and harmonious one. Cancerian energy is fundamentally the archetypal energy of Mother, on a grand scale like Mother Earth, as well as on an individual, personal scale. When we use the term archetype, that is what we mean, though. We mean the fundamental, quintessential energy of caring and of nurturance. And furthermore, if we think about any mother, a mother animal, a mother plant, a mother human being, then there is something about the sacrifice that is made by that being in order for their young to proceed and to thrive. Certainly, when we have the archetype of the womb, which represents the mother principle of sacrifice, of turning and transforming one's flesh into the flesh and blood of another being, then we have this amazing transformative capacity of Cancerian energies. So for those born under the sign of Cancer, or those with a Cancer moon, Cancer rising, or strong Cancer in their chart, then we have this capacity innate to transform a situation. And that simply comes from the water quality of Cancer. It is a water sign, and water dissolves as well as water brings forward life. Also, before we leave this slide, there is something very important about the archetype of Cancer regarding water being the source of life, water being that from which all life is born. And that is to be understood on a factual and physical plane level, as well as it is the waters of consciousness, the waters of compassion, the waters of universal awareness. In all cases, physical, like the birth of plankton and protozoa way back when, and now become every life form on Earth, as well as the more metaphysical or more meditative factors of the other levels of consciousness, and again, the universal waters of awareness. In all cases, however, it is the reality that we live that is born, that is nurtured, and that thrives by each of us feeding, nurturing our self-made reality and a collective reality that we have on Earth. The insistence of nurturance, of caring, and of sacrificing so that others may live and thrive and do well. This energy is not simply a feminine energy. It is, again, a universal energy that women or of a certain gender might have a certain biochemical orientation towards that is definitely scientifically so. However, as human beings, we have all been female or male in all of our past lives. We have been mothers, we have been fathers, we have been children, we have cared for others in a wide variety of ways, and we have been cared for in a wide variety of ways. When we look at the archetypal energy of Cancer in order to take it into meditation, then we are looking at, again, that which engenders life itself. And as a cardinal sign, which Cancer is, this is the first, it's the second principle of life that is enunciated through the cardinal signs of the zodiac. The first one having been Aries, and the enunciation of life itself, the I am principle. With Cancer, we say, not only am I here, but I am here in order to offer life to others. I am here as the apparatus through which life can be born, the apparatus through which life can be sustained. Right now in the world, there is concern and a lot of foment around the idea of freedom and of caring for one another. We have the epitomized within the refugee situation, which is not just focused on the Syrian refugees and their plight through and into Europe, but it is the refugees that are found in every continent other than the polar regions. We also have that with the United States, there is the gearing up for an election, and the conventions have begun, the Republican being this week and Democrat next week. And so there too, a country that supposedly was predicated upon and declared itself free of its former mother state, being Britain, then freedom seems to be big to the US, and yet it is a country wherein our freedoms are being stripped due to various security measures and poverty, etc. We also have within Europe the tragedy in France and the vote by the populace of the UK to leave the European Union. So there's, in other words here, freedom in a wide variety of ways, and many, many more situations around the world could be listed. Uh, freedom is not free, and in Cancer, we understand that freedom is not free because, again, of that fundamental mother principle shared by mothers and fathers and all people in the roles of caring and giving. In the respect it is not free, the baby in the womb is, in order for it to grow and in order for it to thrive, the mother whose body carries this baby has to actually feed, has to sacrifice aspects of itself in order for this fetus to grow into hopefully a healthy, happy baby. So at essence then, within cardinality and of Cancer, is this idea that freedom requires caring. Freedom is not freedom if there's not caring and nurturance and the sustaining of all beings in an interdependent way. Otherwise, it's just kind of a wanton self-gratification. It's not freedom. Freedom is something that must be shared by all, and in Cancer, that is epitomized by the quality of caring. And so, as we get ready to meditate, we hold the image painted for us by Nicholas Roerich. This is one of the several versions of the Mother of the World. I believe he painted 9 different versions. And with the Mother of the world, we have epitomized for us that which is the great veiled presence. And so often, this energy of Cancer is a great veiled presence. We might all, have relations in whatever quality they are with our biological mother. We also might have very nurturing, caring people who have sacrificed much throughout their lives in order for our presence and our life to thrive. So often, however, the people that are actually the most important and the most implicit in our life are quite often veiled. We think about those who, for instance, produce the food and um, sustain us through the various conveniences that we have, that we never see them, but we simply live the convenience. So this veiling of this shared principle of caring, of nurturance, of taking care, of giving service, and of emboldening others to thrive. This is a quality of Cancer. We smile and hold the whole world in our heart. And just for a moment, smile with the whole world. Maybe let the whole world imagistically even drop down to our belly area and feel the whole world as if we were pregnant with the world. Male or female, doesn't matter. When we hold the world as such and put ourselves in this position, we sense the vulnerability of the world. And we sense another primary quality of Cancer and Cancerian energy, that of protector, that which needs to be protected. And so extend that feeling of holding the whole world. Extend it out from you into your life, into the livingness of your life. And that includes the news that you might have heard today on the radio or the TV or by your smartphone. It includes whatever people are in your life, but however you have understood of the plight of others, the needs of others. And with that sense of womb and pregnant belly, feel the vulnerability of everyone. Feel the equal need of everyone to be cared for, to be protected, to be nourished and fed. Cancer rules the breast as the archetypal point within the human body, because here is mother's milk. Here is the nurturance of the world. And feel that if everyone cared equally and cared fully, the whole world would be at peace. All beings would thrive. All beings would be happy. And so now lift up the pregnant womb, lift it into the cave of the heart. And let the light of the heart and the openness of the heart be like a second womb. And what is being nurtured and birthed from here is the power of caring, the power that nurtures all. And to feel that as we meditate deeply for a couple of minutes, feel the power of the heart to nurture unconditionally and limitlessly all beings according to all needs. We breathe in and we breathe out. Feel the heart swell and swell, getting bigger and bigger, birthing a great power, power of empathy. And feel the preciousness of all beings. As this power ripens, it illumines, and so a great light goes out. Goes out from the heart because it is born of the heart. And this great light makes all things plain. All is known, all is seen. The needs of others are seen, recognized, as well as the interdependence, the interconnectedness of life. Nothing is in isolation, but a great holism, a great universality is recognized in this empathy, in this power of the heart. And let us enter more deeply into the power of empathy, into its vulnerability, its sensitivity, its openness. There's no walls, there's no barrier. Instead, there is a raw quality to life, and we experience life as it is, with its suffering, with its pain, with its loves, with its intensity. This again is part of the quality of the archetypal mother that has to birth through pain in order to bring forward life, and then has to stand beside and carry the wounds of others as they are hurt and seeks to heal them. So this archetypal quality is the quality of empathy. Its power, its compassion, and its raw, intense quality. So let us engage it. Let us meditate deeply on empathy. And so feel the courage of compassion necessary to live an empathetic life. To be empathic of others. To feel the currents of suffering and pain as well as the currents of joy and ingenuity that waft through human consciousness. It is only in this recognition, this living of empathy, that the true suffering and the levels of suffering that happen in the world can be addressed. If we turn away from them, if we try to numb from the intensity of them, then suffering will remain. Only in the raw vulnerability of empathy, in each human being feeling it, will the truth of suffering be understood, and then the remedies for it. And so finally we lift this womb of the earth, womb of humanity, this power of compassion, we lift it up to above us, above the crown center, into the pure light of our higher nature. And there feel a resonance with all higher nature, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Christs, gods, goddesses, all the ascended masters, male and female, all the celestial powers, the planetary powers, all that is possible, that is of good and purpose and radiant, blazing light. And we feel our crown erect, rising up out of the matters of our life, rising into its sublime, supreme power that is the power of compassion, the power that lies behind a human being, that lies behind you and I and everyone alive. And let us then feel the great purposefulness of kindness. This is no small thing. And kindness addresses all karma, makes all positive actions into new karma. Kindness, caring, respect, these will engender a whole harmonious world. Only these will undo the cycle of suffering. Kindness births more kindness. Kindness births new karma, new life. And let us feel the will that often is required in order to be kind. To not default to selfishness or self-importance, but to always consider the well-being of others. Such a will, such a purposefulness is the energies of Cancer as well as some other zodiacal energies. We focus on it and feel its power. Feel our crown center. Feel the crowning glory of a human being is in our capacity for empathy, kindness, and caring. And that in order to bring these forward, all kinds of inventiveness, ingenuity are required, all kinds of creative processes. And in fact, those qualities of kindness, empathy, these bring forward the creativity of every moment and recreate past patterns that keep the world in suffering and create new patterns of light and heart. In this way, then, as we complete our meditation, you and each person is Mother of the world. Let your every moment birth a new light, birth a newness into the world, one of harmony, of opportunity. May you be the mother source of kindness, caring, protection for those who need protection, and of the power of compassion. We complete holding the whole world in our heart and our mind. Thank you all. Before you go, if you know any special prayer or mantra, such as the Great Invocation, or any other that you might know, include it in the completion of your meditation. Hold it. Hold the mantra in its sacredness and in the power of light and qualified words and intentions for the well-being of all beings. Love you all. Thank you for meditating for the well-being of the world.